We're working inside of our first Microsoft Word document file. And we're going to do a couple things to this particular document. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure the font is selecting the font that we want to use for this class. Now, currently my document is in this particular font at the font size of 10. That may not be the font that you're showing on your computer, but we're going to make sure that all of our fonts are exactly the same. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to click somewhere inside my document. Then I'm going to go up to Edit, click and drag down to Select All. Now Command A off of the keyboard will do the same thing. My entire document is selected at this point in time. So I'm going to click on the downward pointing arrow and I'm going to go and find the font called Times. And I'll slide over to say Times again. Actually, I'll go down to Times Regular. Font size, I want this to be a 12-point font. So I have my font selected, my font size. The top line of my document is my headline, or the name of my document. And I'm going to just select that top line. And for this particular piece of text, what I want is, let's see if I can find it. I'm going to use the font called Colombo, and I'll use a 30 point. Uh-oh, I don't have 30 points. Well, I can just type it in, press the return key, and I now have 30 points. Now, I really wanted that to be on one line, and probably the reason is the fact that Microsoft tends to default to relatively large left and right margins. I'm going to click on where it says Layout, and I can see where my left margin is 1¼ inches. I'm going to drag it down to 1 inch. I'm going to do the same thing for my right margin. I'm going to move it down to 1 inch. So now I have this text in the correct font size and correct font. Next thing I'm going to do is come up to this line where it says your name. I'll highlight my name. And I'll go back to the home area. I'm going to use right justification for that line. And where it says your name, let's type in, instead of your name, let's type in your real name. I'll use Ernie Pyle if I can spell it. And what I'll do is I'm going to highlight that text, and we'll make that a different kind of font. Let's see what we can find. Well, for the sake of getting something where we can continue with this particular assignment, I guess I'll use, of all fonts, I'll just pick that up. And let's make that maybe 16 points. Okay. So we have changed the font, we've changed the margins, and we're about ready to move on and continue with the next step in this document. Now notice up here that the little icon that's showing my Word document, notice that it's kind of grayed out some, and that's indicating that we have made changes and we need to actually save our document. So I can go to File and Save, and once it saves, notice it comes back with the blue color in it instead of kind of being grayed out a little bit. That's probably a very subtle reminder A lot of programs will place an asterisk after the name of the file to indicate that it needs to be saved. Microsoft elects to kind of dim the color of the little icon, so it's not as pronounced as a lot of other programs, but it's still somewhat of a reminder that every once in a while you need to save this document.